Perfection is an illusion created by the devil to rob men and women of their dreams. And that's one of the things, just real quick, we talk about self-coaching. I'm real big on, we all have areas to work on. One of the things I tell my coaches is the hardest person you'll ever coach is yourself.
That's right. Yep.
But ultimately, leadership is getting other people to do what you want for their reasons.
You're listening to the Limitless Leadership Podcast, the podcast designed to help automotive repair shops learn how to lead, coach, train, and manage their team better by sharing proven techniques and thought-provoking interviews from industry leaders. Are you ready to transform your leadership skills by tapping into unrecognized potential to achieve limitless results? Let's get ready for liftoff. It's time to go from great to greater. Here's today's episode.
What happens when a leadership company dedicated to helping people tap into unrecognized potential collaborates with the leading cloud-based platform trusted by over 11,000 shops nationwide, a standard-setting level of training designed to help aspiring leaders achieve limitless results? Join Limitless Leadership in a collaborative training event sponsored by TechMetric on Friday, December 5th in Houston, Texas at TechMetric's office. If you want a team that's aligned, accountable, and fired up to win, this is the training that will transform the way you lead. Limitless Leadership dives into reshaping your mindset, clarifying your vision, and teaching you how to communicate, delegate, and execute at a higher level. You'll learn how to lead with purpose, create daily wins, drive operational excellence through KPIs, and inspire real change without burnout, chaos, or constant firefighting. If you're ready to step out of doer mode and into leader mode, this is where it starts. Just visit limitlessleadership.co/training to learn more. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Limitless Leadership Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Parnell. And before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things you need to on social media to help this podcast reach people and build leaders. And speaking of leaders, I'm joined by another leader in the automotive repair industry, my friend, a coach in the industry. Yep, don't look behind you, Rick.
Oh, okay.
Because you are my friend that I'm talking about. The CEO of 180 Biz?
No,
president.
longer.
President of president.
My wife is the CEO.
Oh, hey, that's a smart man. Smart man.
When she came to me and said, I want to be CEO, I almost started to cry. And I was like, here.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, my wife is also my boss at home and at work, so I get it. But I am joined, if you can't tell, by Rick White of 180 Biz. So, Rick, thanks for being here.
Hey, Josh, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited to talk for a little bit. We've kind of been in orbit for a while.
Yes, we have.
So I'm looking forward to connecting some more.
Yeah, likewise. It's interesting because when you talk about being in orbit, you and I have been following each other on social media for a minute, but we haven't really gotten a chance to spend a lot of time together and learn about each other. So we're going to be doing that actually on this episode. And this episode is coming at you live from the 2025 ASTA Expo in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're at the Raleigh Convention Center. Live? No, sorry. We're not live right now.
Okay, so you can edit this. So if I slip, you can just slip, cut that out.
I mean, you're not going to slip, but yes, it's going to be edited.
All right,
but I'm just saying, in general, if you're listening, feel free to tune in to @TheBeardedLeader on YouTube, and you can watch this episode live at the ASTA Expo.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, Rick, go ahead and share with the audience who you are, what you do, and how you do it.
Wow. My name is Rick White. I am a coach and trainer for the independent auto and truck repair industries and have been doing it since 2003. So I've been around for a while.
Yeah.
I have not worked a day in my life since because I enjoy what I do so much. It's really fun to be able to see somebody, like the light bulb goes on, right? And they start to make some changes and start to believe in themselves. I think it's just such a high. Once you hit it once, it's hard not to keep going after it. But we help shop owners. Some of our shop owners are in trouble. Some shop owners are, excuse me, I got an itch. Some shop owners are doing well, but they feel like they could be doing better. And we do group coaching, and we've been doing it now for a while. And we have coaches that help, and it's been amazing. It's been quite a journey. Like when I started coaching, I was doing it by the hour.
Okay.
$75 an hour is when I started.
All right, folks. As you know, great leadership isn't about doing everything the best. It's actually about having the right partners in your corner to build your shop's success. It's about putting the right team in place. It's about choosing the right vendors to make you a pro, making pro moves. And when I think about the pros, I think about shop marketing pros. The know, like, and trust factor, that's a real thing. And Shop Marketing Pros understands that. That's why I want to recommend Shop Marketing Pros to become your marketing partner in your shop. They get to know, like, and trust you and your business to then help your audience get to know, like, and trust you too, and bring your shop to the next level. So when I talk about making pro moves, this is the kind of move I'm talking about. This is the kind of standard-setting partnership that's going to elevate your shop. So if you're ready to become a pro in your shop, visit shopmarketingpros.com and partner with the best. So you're charging single sessions back then, and as opposed to like kind of packaged.
Oh no, you could, like, if you gave me a project to do, or we could talk for 2 hours on the phone, it'd be $150.
You literally.
So it's literally by the hour.
Okay.
Right. So I thought that would be a differentiator.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is we'd have a client that would need a lot of help, and they'd end up with a $2,000 bill, and then we wouldn't talk to them for 3 months. So we realized that wasn't working. So we came up with a recurring fee. And in the beginning, it was by check. They had to send us a check. It took me a while to convince my wife to start taking credit cards. I was like, man, we don't want to chase people for checks, man. Let's just get a credit card. It's worth the 2 or 3%. So we do that. And right now we're working with about 80, 85 shops.
Okay.
And looking to grow. It's a really cool program. And it's all designed to help them see more in themselves and help them achieve it.
Excellent. So let's do this, Rick, because I definitely want to hear more about the program. I'm also a coach in the industry, but I definitely believe in collaboration, not competition. There is so much to go around. I personally adopt this abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. And what I also believe is everyone can help everyone. Like there are things that you can definitely bring to a client and value that you can bring to a client that I can't. So there are plenty of folks who I say, hey, make sure you reach out to the Rick Whites of the world, the Cecil Bullards and the Darren Barneys and these other great coaching companies. But before we get into that and the meat of 180 Biz, can you share with the audience how you got into coaching? I imagine you've been in the industry for a minute, and then in 2003, something shifted, and now you became a coach. Can you walk us through that journey?
Oh, God. You said we only have 30 minutes. So I grew up in the industry. My dad owned a shop. So I was playing with carburetors when I was 6. And for those of you that don't know what that is, that was a fuel delivery device before fuel injectors. And then I was 17 when I rebuilt my first transmission. So I grew up as a technician in my dad's shop. The first oil change I ever did, I think I was 14. And I was standing there like this with the drain plug. And there were 3 other guys standing, leaning up against the bench, watching me. So when the drain plug come out, I moved fast, but I wasn't fast enough. And I got half covered with oil.
Yeah.
No uniforms. And it was 11 in the morning. So I stayed in that dirty for a day, right? My skin looked amazing. So, but that's the way I grew up, right? I spent 2 years, probably 2 years, as a glorified dishwasher. I took bad transmissions apart, washed them up, and got them ready for the builder. And then one day my dad came over with a book about 4 inches thick and said, read it. So I started reading that at night, learning what the different parts were and how they worked. And then he would just start coming over and pick up a part and he'd say, okay, tell me about it. And I had to tell him everything I knew about it. And then one day I finished watching up a transmission, Turbo Hydromatic 350, 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, said, okay, Dad, what's next? And he went, build it.
Turbo Hydromatic 350.
Yeah.
I mean, I struggle just to pronounce that word, so kudos to you for remembering that, Rick. That's it's apparently years ago, correct?
19...
Hey folks, running an auto repair shop, it's tough. We know that. And between managing repairs, Keeping customers happy and handling front office tasks, there's never enough time in the day. That's where HubShop Solutions comes in. Hub takes the burden off your team by building fast, accurate repair estimates and handling extended warranties, so you can focus on what really matters, running a profitable, efficient shop. With Hub, you free up your team, you boost efficiency, and you increase profits. So sign up now and get free onboarding. Visit hubshopsolutions.com to schedule a demo today. HubShop Solutions. Unlock your shop's full potential.
70, hold on a second, 9, I think it was.
Okay. Amazing.
So, yeah, I've been around for a while.
Yeah.
And it's funny, my wife's telling me, she goes, Rick, you're getting old. And I was like, baby, that number is just the odometer on my body. I said, I'm still 16 on the inside.
There you go.
And she said to me, she goes, no, you're 11. And I went, no, I can tell you I'm 16 and prove it. And she goes, how? I said, I like girls. Right? So, and then I went, girl. So, yeah. So I did that, and I started my first shop when I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a crash and burn. Lots of lessons learned on that one, including bankruptcy. And then in 1995, bought a shop, took it from $300,000 a year to $1 million with a $79 labor rate, which was 5% higher than that $79 labor rate was 5% higher than the dealers.
Wow. Okay.
And it was the going labor rate in the shop for aftermarket independent shops was about $40 to $50 an hour, and we were charging $79. We had 3 technicians. We did really, really well. Went through a divorce. 9/11 hit. And my shop was just outside of Boston, where 2 of the planes came from. In fact, scary story, my sister was supposed to be on one of the planes.
Wow.
Her daughter got sick, and she ended up not going on the trip. She was supposed to go to California to see some of her family.
Oh, man.
If she had gone on the plane, she would have been in one of the ones that hit the towers.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, that's like a God wink right there.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, God, it's terrible what happened. But business dropped off. My heart wasn't in it. So I decided I wanted to do something different. So I sold the shop, and I went to work in the software space. I went to work for the shop management system that I had in the shop.
Which was at the time?
Genesis 4.
Okay.
So I went to work with them. And in 2003, one of our users called me up he says, talk to me about flat rate pay. And I said, well, tell me more. And he's like, well, I'm looking to see what I can do about labor. And I said, okay, give me some numbers. And that system was pretty advanced. It had timekeeping and everything like that. So I had him run some reports, send them back. And I ran the numbers, called them back and said, hey, listen, if you go to flat rate, your cost of labor is going to go up. Mm-hmm. What are you trying to fix? And he said, Rick, I just broke 6 figures for my shop, and first time last month, 2 months ago. I said, that's amazing. He goes, no, I lost 10 grand. I went, oh. So then I said, the second month I went up to 115,000. I'm thinking, okay, that should cover the 10 grand, right? I said, that's awesome. He goes, no, I lost 12 grand. He says, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. This is how my coaching career started. My coaching career started with this sentence. I said, John, I'm pretty good with numbers. Why don't you send me some reports and let's see what we can do? Mm-hmm. And in the period of between, I don't remember exactly, I think it was about 12 to 14 months, we took his business from $100,000 a month to $210,000 a month with the same staff.
Okay.
And this was a Class A tractor trailer shop. So once I did that, it was like there was a bright light that shone down from heaven and a really deep voice that said, this is what you're supposed to do, stupid. So I was working at the software company, and every time we had a user that was having trouble making their support payments, the owner would flip them over to me, and I would turn them around. Doing a lot of traveling. We had a house in Harrisonburg that I got to see one weekend a month. And it was too much. So I went to the owner of the software company and I said, hey, what if we turn the software company to a total management company? What if they buy the software and they pay for support, but part of the support, we raise the support and it covers coaching. So they'll get that and the coaching, and it's a one-time thing, and I don't have to travel as much.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not interested. So that was April of 2006. So my wife and I sat down, wrote a business plan, and we ran it through each other. My wife was working, and because I had gotten remarried, married to my wife, Brenda. She is the best thing that's ever happened to me. We've been married now for 22 years.
Congratulations. It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. People ask me how long I've been married. I ask them if it's cumulative. My wife doesn't like that. So we sat down. So beginning of Memorial Day weekend, I went up to Massachusetts because I was working remotely in Virginia. So I went up to the owner's house, sat down with him, and gave my notice. And I told him I worked for a month, so the month of June. And he started crying. I, to this day, don't know if they were tears of joy or he was really sad that I was leaving. I don't know. But July 1st, 2006 is when 180 Business Solutions started.
Okay.
And we got the website 180 Biz. And we just kind of said, 180 Biz is a lot stickier than this. So we've gone with 180 Biz the whole time. And it was funny. I had somebody say, why don't you call it 360? I was like, if it's 360, you're right back to where you were before. Yeah. That makes sense. So we started doing that. And in 2007, my wife quit her job and she came in. And we now have 9 or 10 people.
Okay.
Working, either behind the scenes or as a coach. And all our coaches are shop owners that have gone through our program. And they live, eat, drink our methodology, and it's absolutely amazing. In fact, one of my coaches, because tomorrow morning I'm teaching and the trade show's open, one of my coaches is driving 3 hours to come cover the trade show booth for me.
That is incredible.
And then he's driving 3 hours back to make his son's baseball game. That's
awesome.
That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of special.
Well, and that's culture. I mean, that's culture creation that I know that you're responsible for. And a question I love to ask any of my clients to ask themselves is, does my team feel the weight of my title or the influence of my leadership? So I'll ask you, Rick, in regards to how you influence your team and grow your culture and cultivate that culture, what does it look like for you to cultivate a culture amongst a coaching company in relation to doing that at a shop?
So I think a big part of it is, number one, I think it's mission, mindset, and I'll think of another one. But first of all, you got to understand. So, like, we're on a mission. Like I said, I grew up working for my dad, and my dad always felt like that if he had a couple $100 in his pocket, he was successful. He never knew how to learn. He never learned how to run a business. So then, I'm working different places and stuff like that. My dad had retired, and he wanted me to go into partnership with my brother, and I thought, nah, partners are for dancing. So
Partners are for dancing.
Yeah.
Good quote.
So I walked away from that. He just closed it up and sold it off. And I was working at a Shell station running the shop. And one day I'd come in, the guy was going to make it at Dunkin' Donuts. The next day he's going to fix it up. The next day it's a C-store. And I'm like, man, there is no security here whatsoever. So I was talking to a friend of mine. He goes, well, I'm looking to sell my shop. So I bought the shop back then, and it worked out. But at the time, I stopped working for a jerk and went to work for a complete lunatic. Like, I just didn't know what you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's been said a million different times, but there is a huge difference between being really good at fixing cars and being good at business. Two different things.
Yeah.
Right? They're two different animals. It breaks my heart when I talk to a shop owner that says, I don't care about the numbers, or I don't want to know about the numbers. I just want to fix cars. Because why are you fixing the car? Right? And then it's funny because I was talking to a shop owner coming here, and he's like, man, I'm working so hard. And I said to him, I said, you're in trouble at home, aren't you? And he goes, yeah. I said, dude, why did you start the shop? And he said, to provide for my family. And I said, and you're losing them in the process.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yep.
I said, we got to back up and we got to get it. See, in the beginning, your partner, your spouse, they're your biggest fan. But at some point, if you're not careful, they start to see the shop as competition.
Yeah.
And then that becomes very contentious. It's like the other mistress. You know what I mean? So you've got to make sure that that doesn't happen. Or if it does, you got to be able to backpedal a little bit and start to really pour into the relationship to make sure that you can get it to work. Because honestly, I've seen so many people build a really great business and lose the very reason why they were building it.
Rick, that's strong leadership advice. A personal story of mine is that when this was 4 or 5 years ago, working at a corporate job. So I have a background with Christian Brothers Automotive, and we wrapped up a long training week, a great training week. And I loved what I did there, loved the organization, still do. And came home after a long training week and immediately started telling my wife about all the great people I met and the stories that I learned at training that week. And her face visibly changed, and not for the better. And so I immediately just stopped talking and say, hey, like, what's wrong? And she said, honey, I love you, and I love what you do and who you do it with, but sometimes it feels like our family, it feels like we are getting your leftovers. And that was a gut punch that I needed, but it's exactly what you're talking about. We're so accustomed to going to work and giving 100 and giving our team 100 and giving our customers or our guests 100, and we dial it back when we head home.
Because the tank's empty.
That's right. The tank's empty.
The tank's empty. We don't leave anything in the tank for our family.
Because we don't know how to set and keep boundaries.
Correct.
So we got to take care of ourselves first. Let's talk about that. How do you exercise self-care and serving yourself first, leading yourself so that you can effectively serve and lead other people?
So, I mean, for me, I call it bookending your days. It's a concept I heard Darren Hardy's first book.
The Compound Effect.
Compound Effect.
Yeah.
Thank you. He talked about bookending your days, and I thought, holy crap, that's beautiful, because it's really the only 2 times in the day that you can control. So I am typically up, like this morning I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Right? And for me, I read the Bible, and I'm the foul-mouthed disciple, right? And I'm not big on religion, but I believe in relationship.
Yep, same.
And do my best through my actions and hopefully the way I'm showing up to be an example to that, right? So I read my Bible, and then I'll read or listen to something. Like, I'm usually reading a book. I read probably... It varies. Right now, I'm really working on a couple of projects, so it's slowing down. But I'm typically anywhere from 20 to 70 books a year.
Wow. Okay. Are you reading or listening to a book right now?
I am Buy Back Your Time.
Oh, Dan Martell. Yeah, great book.
It's a really good book.
Yeah.
I also just finished Self-Leadership and the 1 Minute Manager, which was really good. So I read a lot.
Yeah.
Because Charlie Tremendous Jones once said the only difference between who you are today and who you're going to be in 5 years are the books you read and the people you meet.
I like that.
I love that,
Yeah,
right?
that's good stuff.
Because if you think about an object in motion, physics is going to stay in motion until it's interacted with another object, right? And that's what I want to do. I just want to bump people a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Give them a little bit. And in the beginning, it's not going to make much of a difference. But in 5 years, 10 years, huge.
Rick, you're touching on something that's so pivotal and so critical for everyone to know, because a lot of folks, and in my own coaching experience, some folks who I work with, they want this 180-degree turn. But in reality, a lot of us don't need this 180-degree, life-changing, overnight sweeping change. What we need is a 2-degree shift, just a 2-degree shift.
Right. Something
so small, and you have one small shift, but you're consistent and you're intentional, and over the course of time, it's a significant impact. Here's an analogy I'd like to share. If you're on a plane, now I heard this. I don't know how true this is or not, but if you're in a plane and the pilot changes the course of direction 1 degree every 60 seconds, they are. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this. I want to say like.
Can I help you?
Yeah, you know it?
Well, I know something.
Okay, what you got?
If a plane leaves LaGuardia,
okay,
2 degrees off, in the first foot, it's less than half an inch.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
Yep.
Right? But by the time it gets to LAX, it's off by 96 miles.
Okay, so so in fact, the stat I was looking for was you shifted by 1 degree, you're off by a mile.
Oh yeah.
And so very similar to what you're describing.
Exactly.
But that right there is what you're sharing. It's like, look, we just tweak something. It's just a fine tune and tweak.
Right.
And at the end of the day, like, we overestimate what we can accomplish in a short amount of time, but we underestimate what we can accomplish in a long amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And over the course of time, as long as we're consistent, as long as we're intentional, this is the power of the compound effect. Big impact happens with small steps done consistently.
So what I like to say is time magnifies the insignificant. If I eat a donut once, it's not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
If I eat a donut every day, it's a much bigger deal.
Time magnifies the insignificant. That is so strong, man.
Right?
Very good.
So that's one of the things I really espouse. The other one is later is not your friend.
Okay.
Right?
Tell me more.
I'm actually to the point, like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And the moment I hear it, my wife hears me go, son of a bitch. And oh, sorry. See, I
You're fine.
told
You're
you.
good. You're good.
So she looks at me and goes, what's the matter? I said, nothing. And I get up. And she's like, what are you doing? I said, well, I thought of something. I said, I'll do it later. And I'm finally to the point where if I hear myself say that to myself, I get up and do it right then.
That's awesome.
Because later is not your friend.
Yeah.
It just isn't. The only thing we have guaranteed is right now. Right? We're all in line. We're all in line to the great escalator in the sky. We just don't know where. Right? So you've got to make it real. Like, make now real.
Yeah.
Be present now. Enjoy today. Because some of us, like you guys video, I'm sure, I have more gray hair than you do. Okay? There are more days behind me than in front of me. So it's really important for my wife and I to make sure that we maximize our presence in the day, our impact with each other, with our kids. We have 7 kids. We have 8 grandkids right now. So we do our very, very best to make a difference.
Rick, I love hearing you share this, man. I mean, this is self-leadership and self-development and really self-accountability at its finest. You recognize how important it is to do the things now, take action now.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us are going to say, well, I'm not yet ready, or it's not yet perfect, or I'm not yet motivated, or I don't have confidence yet. But you and I both know motivation and confidence tends to follow the action that you take. Take action, and motivation and confidence is going to follow.
It's on the other side. We wait for motivation to take action when we should be taking action to get the motivation.
Preach.
Right?
That's right.
And one of the things I'm going to tell you about perfection, it's a Rickism. You ready?
Okay, come on.
Perfection is an illusion created by the devil to rob men and women of their dreams.
I love that.
Okay?
That's good.
The reality is, it's never going to be perfect. The perfect time is right now.
That's right.
Are you going to make mistakes? Yes, but that's where the real learning comes.
Yeah.
Too many people get caught in the learning loop where you're just like, I need to learn more, I need to learn more. And learning is fantastic until you make it an addiction. Because what happens is like, I got to learn a little more, I got to learn a little more, I got a little more. And the problem with that is learning is important. Like, I'm a trainer, it's important.
Sure.
But you've got to make sure you're applying. Because if all you do is learn, it gives you a false sense of progress.
That's good. Yeah.
Right? Because you're not actually applying it, you're not doing it. You can learn you can learn something, but you don't know something until you do it.
Knowledge without application is just information. And I'll say this, Rick. So as a coach, because I experience the same thing. I work with clients who I love dearly. Like, they become, like, you're invested in them, not just professionally, but even personally. And that's why it's the most the rewarding thing that you do. I mean, you said that.
And frustrating.
Correct. It's the most rewarding and frustrating at the same time. You said earlier that your heart wasn't in it when you were a shop owner. And now you have never worked a day since 2003.
And I worked my ass off. I'm sorry, I did it again. But I work more today than I ever have. But it's a labor of love.
But and you don't get burnt out, do you? I mean, you get tired, but you don't get burnt out.
I get tired. I don't think I get burnt out. Because for me, like, every book I read, it drives my wife nuts. Is a business book, or it's either mindset, skill set, or tool set. When you're working with somebody. So I'm constantly reading on how to do a better job with that. Mm-hmm. And now that we've got the business to where it is, I'm now working on, okay, now I need like right now, I'm the worst shop owner in the world because I'm the shop owner out in the shop in the Bay. I'm doing the coaching.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I train other shop owners how to get themselves out of the Bay, how to get back out of the business and still run it.
Yeah.
Now it's time for me to do that. So that's what we've been working on. So I'm working on developing coaches so that when I'm coaching, now I'm coaching coaches.
Yeah, that's good.
Right?
That's good.
And getting them to help the shops. Okay? But I have a couple of core beliefs. Like I believe that life kicks the crap out of you. Mm-hmm. And I went through a really tough time in 2021. I had my wife and I went on a trip of our dreams. We went to Africa. And we went to Uganda and we went gorilla trekking. And then we went to Kenya and we did a 6-day safari in Kenya.
Okay.
Awesome. Like I'll show you pictures if you want them. But in the process of doing the gorilla trekking, they tell you it's a 1 to 6 hour walk. I want to get a hold of whoever wrote that pamphlet.
Oh.
Because they don't tell you the walk is straight up. But then it makes sense. They are mountain gorillas. So we walked 3.5 miles to see the gorillas, and the walk was 3 miles like this.
Jeez.
So I walked up it. I had lost some weight and stuff. I felt pretty good about it. I can do this. My wife had bad knees. We got her a chair, and we had 12 guys, and they carried her up the mountain and carried her down the mountain. And my wife's like, you should get a chair too. And I'm like, no. Right? So I did the walk, and I walked back down. And I got to, I have disc issues and did some damage to my back and ended up waking up one September morning unable to walk.
Wow. That's scary.
It's very scary and a lot of pain. Had an MRI done, had surgery scheduled, but I woke up, couldn't walk. And their answer was 600 milligrams of oxycodone every 4 hours.
Oh,
so
how are you going to coach on that?
I did not. My wife will tell you that she considers that time she was a widow for 2 months. I had a couple of guys that were longtime clients that stepped up, coached all the clients that I had while I was going through the surgery, and I had problems with the surgery, so the recovery took longer. I was using a walker, and then I was on a cane for over a year. So every step I take today is just a blessing.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you take for granted until it's not there anymore. So those guys really showed me that I needed to have, it couldn't just be me. Mm-hmm. You know, and then there's going to be Bob Greenwood was a friend, and he passed suddenly a couple of years ago. And that really woke a bunch of us up and thought, we got to do something so that we're not, there's got to be a plan here.
Yeah.
And that's like when I start with shop owners and they're like, yeah, I just want to work on cars. And I'm like, hey, it's okay to want to work on cars. It's different than have to work on cars.
Yeah, that's good.
Right? You got to build a business that can operate without you.
Yes.
And that's, I think, super, super important that we forget. Most people, they start a shop, they're not making any money, really frustrated. They get some training or coaching. And what happens, there's an entrepreneurial path where it should be the ultimate function of a business is to operate and thrive without active owner involvement. But most people, they start to make a little bit more money and then they stop. And what they do, they still don't have a business. They have a better paying job.
Yeah, good analogy. Mm-hmm.
And it's just sad. We don't have to be that way. It's okay to want to work on cars. It's okay to go back into the shop. But you got to have a business that will work without you. You know?
So let me ask you this, Rick. So now, if you're listening to this episode and you don't have a coach, and you've been thinking about hiring a coach, you recognize everything that Rick is sharing is something you're going through. It's a challenge that you've been trying to get out of on your own, not finding community, not recognizing that multiple minds are better than one, and that you can find someone who can share tips, tricks, advice, suggestions, and even help you with your blind spots, and not only help you professionally, but even help you at home, your home life. Because when you get help professionally, it helps you personally as well. And Rick, you are, highly regarded as one of the best coaches and coaching companies in the industry. I have a high level of respect for you. So I am going to ask you, because I'm new to this entrepreneurial journey. I'm you back in 2004, 2005. So I will ask for some advice on what I can expect as I grow and scale, or at least attempt to. But before I do that, share with the audience more about your coaching program. If they're interested, how they can reach out to you, how they can get in touch with 180 Biz.
Well, first of all, I want to say there's lots of great coaches out there, right? If you want to talk to me, I would be honored. And our goal is to make sure it's a good fit. There are a lot of great coaches, but there's different personalities. Like, there are times I'm a steamroller, so I tend to be a little bit more pushy about stuff, right? So that might not jive with the way you do things. But at the same time, I work with all types. It depends, right? But ultimately, what you want to do is you want to have a really good interview process so that you're looking at more than just one. Talk to them.
Yeah.
Be careful of the flash and the pan stuff. You want to build something that's sustainable, something you can be proud of, right? We are very relational. So if you're looking for a transactional business, I am not your coach. We are not going to be a good fit. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking to create relationships with your clients, with your team, because they're really internal clients, then talk to us, right? But basically, you can go to 180biz.com and reach out on the Contact Us page. You can send an email to rick@180biz.com. You can text me, 540-830-2293. You can text me, and we'll sit down and talk. And when we sit down and talk, I want to see the unique opportunities you have and challenges, and see if there's anything I can do to add value. If I can help, I'll tell you. And if I can't, I'll tell you that too. There is no I don't believe sales should be high pressure.
Correct. Yeah, I agree.
If you go back to sell, which is the root word, it actually comes from the Old English salon, which means to serve.
I love that you said that, because there is a distinct difference between selling and serving.
Correct.
But you can sell through serving.
Yes.
So I appreciate you for sharing that.
And here's the thing. For those shop owners that are really frustrated and you're chasing every dollar, the reason you're having such a hard time is because you're chasing the dollar. You've got to recognize that the money is a byproduct of the value that you bring to the table.
Say it for the folks in the back, my friend.
Okay.
Love that.
And Bob Berg says it real well. Go Giver, great book if you haven't read it.
Yeah.
He says that profit is the thunder to value's lightning, right? It's a byproduct. It's like I have a puppy at home. And if I let that puppy outside and she starts to run off and she gets that playful look in her, she tips her head a little bit and the tail's wagging. All right, it's time to play. I walk up or, I'll jog up. I don't jog much. And that's one of the things, just real quick, we talk about self-coaching. I'm real big on, we all have areas to work on. One of the things I tell my coaches is the hardest person you'll ever coach is yourself.
That's right. Yep.
So I'm working on my health, my physical health. Mm-hmm. When I hurt my back, I gained some weight, and now I'm working on taking it off. But there's always going to be an area to improve, right? And the way I look at it is it's like spinning plates. You get a plate spinning. Okay, that one's good. Let me get this one going. Yeah. And you got to start to watch for the ones that are wobbling and come back and fix them. It's the same in business. But getting back into it, if I chase that puppy, she's going to run. And if I go up to her again, she's going to run again. That's what money does.
Yeah.
That's what success does. If you're chasing success, if you're chasing money, you'll chase it your entire life and never have enough. But when you start to focus on serving other people, as Zig Ziglar once said, you can get everything in life you want if you'll just help enough other people get what they want.
Yeah, that's so true.
And when you start to focus on helping and serving others, it becomes more fun. There's no pressure. No doesn't matter. And it just is awesome.
Something I'm learning about you, Rick, is that you have a great way about you being able to share relatable stories for someone to grasp the concept. So I know that you've experienced hundreds, perhaps thousands of folks over the years literally have this light bulb moment while you're speaking with them. And I've experienced it a handful of times just in my own short coaching journey in the last couple of years. So I know you've experienced this as well. And how rewarding is that for you to see someone just have this epiphany, it's such a moment for them where you visibly see their body language change because they get it, and then they go apply it, and then they get the ROI from it as well. And in relation to the spinning plates, I say there's 5 areas of our life that we can level up in, which is spiritually, physically, emotionally, academically, and financially. And as long as we can have all those 5 plates somewhat spinning just a little bit, if we're just mindful of each one of those 5 things, I truly believe that the rest of your life just falls into place, including your relationships begin to improve, work begins to improve, home life, community, networking, all these things begin to improve because you're mindful of spiritual, physical, emotional, academic, and financial leveling up. You said something earlier too. In relation to relational versus transactional, I really appreciate the fact that you brought this up. I'm the same way. Very much of a relationship first, transaction being a byproduct type of coaching company. But even as if you're listening and you're working in the shop, even when you serve your guest, it's very easy to, the phone rings, you think about the dollar sign, door opens, you think about the dollar sign. It means you're transactional focused. But if you just focus on serving your guest, loving your guest, taking care of your guest, the transaction happens as a byproduct of exceptional standard setting service. So I believe that connection is so important. Connection creates engagement, and engagement is what increases performance. So we're actually shifting our focus from the end in mind of what was the KPIs and the sales and the profit. Let's shift our focus to the connection with our people. We connect through authenticity, humility, and vulnerability. When you connect with your people, you create engagement. And statistically speaking, 70% of employees are disengaged. So if you want to get engagement, connect with your people. When engagement gets created, performance increases. It's a byproduct, like you shared.
Here's the thing. Most people get frustrated because they're chasing the KPI when they don't recognize that it's actually the engagement that creates the KPI.
That's it. That's it. You're saying it.
The KPIs are just the ruler to see how well I'm doing at connecting, at caring, at showing competence, right? And making sure that my character is what it could and should be.
I like that.
I was a scout when I was a kid.
Okay.
Assistant scoutmaster for 12 years and a cub master for 6. I do my very best. I mean, to this day, it's not a gun.
If you're listening, he's digging in his pocket. He said it's not a gun.
Yeah, it's not a gun. Not a gun. But to this day, I carry 3 coins.
Okay.
One was from when we teach in Brazil once a year.
Awesome.
And we went to the second biggest Catholic cathedral in the world.
Wow.
And it was just amazing. So I have a coin from there. But this coin is, and I'll show it to you afterwards, but this coin has the Boy Scout oath on one side and the Scout law on the second side. And think about this for one sec. Scouting was there to create leaders. We did it under the guise of fun. Okay? So when we taught a boy to recite the oath, on my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, and to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. That's the Scout oath.
Yeah.
11 years old, right?
Yeah.
And then we have the Scout law, which is a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Man, you're bringing back some memories.
Yeah.
I remember 3 of them.
So here's the issue I have with the Scout law. It's in the third person. A Scout is. Imagine how much more powerful it would be if it said, I am.
That's good.
Right?
Man.
Like if I could go back and talk to Baden Powell about that, I'd be like, dude, let's fix this. Right? I am trustworthy. I am loyal.
Yeah.
Right?
Good.
But I carry this with me every single day. And I actually bought these when I was a Cub Master. And I used to hand them out when I saw boys doing something really cool.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But I keep this to remind me. Right? And it's so cool. I love it. So I think a big part of this, you started asking me what I think leadership is. I think leadership's about character, number one. But ultimately, leadership is getting other people to do what you want for their reasons.
So there is the key word. For their, not your reasons.
Not my reasons.
Their reasons.
Their reasons.
Love that.
Right? And here's the thing. you got to do that through influence. It's an invitation. Leadership is an invitation.
Yeah.
And it's all about influencing other people. And here's the problem with that. Most of us don't take the time to figure out what influences other people. And you can't influence someone until, you can't influence them until you know what influences them.
Get to know your people.
Because here's what happens. If you don't know what influences somebody, guess what you do? You project what influences you on them.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And then when it doesn't work, you get frustrated and say they're unmotivated and they can't, and that's not the truth. The truth is we haven't gotten to know our team. We haven't taken the time to get to know the people we serve.
Yeah.
Like, it's important.
It's so important. I believe that we get to create two things so that we can provide two things. We get to create safety and trust so that we can provide clarity and direction. Mm-hmm. But you can't provide clarity and direction without safety and trust. And in order to connect with your team members, you've got to get to know them. You've got to understand them. You've got to ask questions. And more importantly, listen to what they're sharing.
And watch and observe. Antenna up all the time. I tell my clients, antenna up.
Yeah.
Like, come on. If you're married, you walked in the house one night, you haven't heard of anything, but you can, like, you open the door and you're like, oh, crap. Like, how many times does that happen? Like, something's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're standing there holding on the doorknob thinking, did they hear me? Could I just close the door and kind of get out of it? Yeah. It's the same thing happening all the time in the shop. You're just oblivious to it. But you can't be. You've got to know what the energy is, the ebb and the flows, and who's up and who's down, and how can you pick them up and keep them up. And that's what it's all about. And, I think this is such an important piece. It's funny. Everybody has a different driver. And for me, mine's legacy. Right?
Okay.
Like, I know that. For years, I've told clients, listen, when we get your business fixed, realizing it never really is, when we get your business fixed, I want you to put the Rick White Memorial statue out front of the shop. And they look at me and they go, what's that? I said, I want you to get one of them lawn jockeys with the lamp.
Yeah.
Put it on the front of the shop. They said, why do you want to do that? I said, so when I die and I hopefully go to heaven, I can look down and see that I made a difference. I see all these lawn jockeys around, right?
Love that. Because
it really is. For me, it's about, and it's funny. We do these really cool things called Just One Thing. I do it Monday morning at 9:10 in the morning Eastern. And it's on Facebook. You go to facebook.com/180biz. It's 10 minutes. It's a thought for the week.
Okay.
You know who I'm doing those for?
Everybody.
My grandkids.
Okay. I love that.
I'm doing them for my grandkids because someday I'll be gone. We are in the best time because I'm able to dump so much information and thoughts and things that I've spent my life figuring out that I can share and they can go back to. We have a Rick 2.0 in our group. It's an AI Rick.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, it's awesome.
Very cool.
It's scary. Like, at one point, my wife said, I think I'm just going to leave Rick and come with you. It was actually, I laughed so hard when I heard the answer. But I showed it to my daughter, and she started crying because she goes, Dad, I want you to live to be 150. And when she heard the AI, she started crying, and she goes, Dad, this is how you're going to live to be 150.
Wow. I mean, that gives me goosebumps right now. That's
right?
Amazing.
And that's, I think, really what it is. I truly believe two things. Number one, life's tough, and it's going to knock us down. And I truly believe that we're here now to help each other get through it. And I believe that wholeheartedly all the way around.
Rick, man, I'll say this. I'm getting to know you literally in this episode, and I'm so thankful for you and who you are and what you do for the industry. I really appreciate you jumping on this podcast episode. It's no surprise to me why you are so successful in what you do and how you do it. I'll just straight up ask. This is, even though there's listeners right now tuning into this episode, this is for me. What advice can you give me, a young coach in the industry trying to make my mark, leave a legacy and lead a legacy, and try to scale this coaching company while I'm trying to make an impact one person at a time?
Yeah. God, that's not a tough question to answer.
You've been there, done that. You've been doing it for 20 plus years, longer than I have.
It's funny you say, respected and successful. It's one of the things I teach my clients all the time is that other people see your heart, they see your soul, they see all the good you do. Mm-hmm. But when you look out of your eyes, all you see is what's broken. Right? I don't do enough of this. I don't do enough of this. This is broken. I'm no good here. We all do that, right? So sometimes it's hard to hear, right?
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing is, from a coaching perspective, it's focus on them and what they want, help them, right? So it's kind of like, what do they want and what do they need? And what do I mean by that? So my dog needed a pill, but they didn't want the pill. They kept spitting it out. So I had to wrap it in a piece of bologna. And the dog ate the pill right up, right? So we got to talk to people about what they want, but we also got to help them understand and identify what they need. So that's a big part of it. And then being able to keep it about them. And sometimes it's hard. Like, for me, I'm a trainer. And it's funny. I'll go to some shows and there'll be 200 people in a room. Mm-hmm. And I go to another show and I got 10. And that's just like, so sometimes you kind of like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Right? And you just got to step back and say, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's about helping and serving.
Yeah.
Right? If you ever want to talk about my second presentation I ever did, we'll talk about it. It was a complete crash and burn.
Okay.
Learn from your mistakes. Be humble. Be there to help and serve. And I truly believe the rest of it takes care of itself. Right? Get some help. Always have a coach. I have a coach.
Yeah.
And my wife has a coach. And it's just learn to get better and better and better. Don't ever be enough.
Thank you for sharing all of that, Rick. That truly means a lot to me. I'm glad that you shared that you have a coach and your wife has a coach. I also have a coach. I also have a counselor, and I'm married to a licensed counselor, so I get free counseling all the time.
You're screwed.
Even when I don't want it.
No, you don't want it.
But I need it, and she's good at it.
Oh, you want to tell? My wife wants to get me going, right? Because my wife comes to me and she goes, Rick, how come you're so brilliant at work and so stupid at home?
Man.
And
Shots fired.
And I was like, oh, man, I'll tell you why. I said, because I'm 100% associated to you. I said, there's a little distance between the other stuff, right? But yeah, one of the worst things my wife can tell me, we're having a rift, and she'll say, what would you tell a client right now? And I'm like, oh.
That's exactly what my wife says to me.
Oh, man, it's usually not a good thing that comes out of my mouth afterwards.
I'm glad to know that I'm not alone. I swear to you, Rick, that's exactly what she has shared with me multiple times. I like the fact that you mentioned that you have a coach. You are a great coach in the industry, and I know success is relative, but I will say, man, I see from the outside looking in, I see the impact that you're making across the industry, and to me, that makes you successful. And so, I'm thankful for you and what you bring to the industry and what you brought to this episode. My last question to you is, what is the best advice that you've ever received from a coach or a mentor?
Man, there's been a lot. As a coach?
Sure. Yeah, I know there's been a lot of great nuggets that you've gotten over the years, so.
Don't be the hero, be the guide.
Love that. Okay.
That's kind of a story brand thing.
Yeah.
But
Donald Miller.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Don't be the hero, be the guide.
We're not the main attraction.
They are.
That's right.
Yeah, for me, people tend to be either others focused or self focused, and I don't mean self centered. It's just when something happens, your go to is, what does this mean to me? Versus, what does this mean to whoever, right? And my wife is a raging others people. And I grew up from, I guess, a family of 6. And so I tend to be more self-focused. And over the years, I've had to learn, what does this mean to me and others? Mm-hmm. you're not going to change who you are or how you show up on the inside completely, but you can adapt and grow. That, I think that would probably be the biggest piece of advice I've always got, that's all I've always held on to, is always be learning.
Yeah, that's good.
But here's the thing. If you're learning because you feel like you're not enough, that's not good.
That's good. Thank you for sharing that.
If you can learn for the joy of learning and becoming the best version of yourself, because we are all in progress.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, it's not goal achievement that makes us happy. It's actually when we start seeing progress that we actually get happier. So there's actually, what is it called? The achievement illusion, or the achievement fallacy, I think it is, where you achieve a goal and you feel good for a day or a couple hours, and then all of a sudden you feel disappointed. There's a letdown after you achieve a goal.
Because there's nothing else to work for.
Well, because there's nothing on the other side, and we put more on the goal, like, wow, this is going to change my life. Like, I'm going to make $1 million in my shop, and it's going to change my life. Mm-hmm. Then you get there, and I warn them all the time. It's like, no, it's going to make a difference, but it's not going to make the difference you think.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not all your problems are going to go away. You're just going to have new problems. And being able to manage that is really important. So progress for me. So when I get close to a goal, I start my next goal so that I'm constantly in the progression mode.
That's so good.
But yeah, I love what we do, and we're building a whole bunch of new strategies and stuff like that. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, I can tell it's a lot of fun. I think what you guys are doing are awesome. And if you're listening and you're thinking, I want to be a part of this awesomeness, then reach out to Rick at 180biz.com, or just go to 180biz.com, book a free discovery call with these guys, and I guarantee you're going to be happy that you did. Rick,
you.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being
it's
here.
my pleasure. We'll have to do it again.
Of course, yeah. Hey, man, this is a great episode. We got way more to talk about, so this will not be your last time on the Limitless Leadership Podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in once again. As you know, every episode we look to transform our leadership skills by tapping into unrecognized potential to achieve limitless results. So thanks again for tuning in to the Limitless Leadership Podcast. Have a great day. Don't forget to smile today. Tell your loved ones how much they mean to you. I'm Josh Parnell, reminding you to keep leading well.